Hi. Sorry, I have to sit there and watch me bite my lip while I get this all together. I actually ended up finding three pre-made, pretty cool and not too difficult quizzes that go with what we covered in that first video. So sorry if that was a rude surprise, but because we did cover it kind of quickly. I hope you saw my notes that third quiz. Just read page 360 while you're taking it, and it'll help you. And then we'll also do some more classification of massage movements, exercises later. But I do want to talk about something important, and this video will be quick, and that's the factors that influence the massage strokes. Now, it doesn't matter which stroke you're doing, whether you're doing some friction or you're doing some effleurage or you're doing compression or deep static touch, aka ischemic compression, how we push on the trigger points. There's a few things you need to think about. The number one is therapeutic intention. So, this is where you be mindful and conscious of what you are trying to accomplish with, so, before you choose your technique. So you're going to need to know your client to the best degree that you can. You need to be sensing their what kind of state of mind they might be in. Can they handle some fast friction right now, or are they stressed out? Do they need something more soothing? Because you found a tight muscle and you want to know, what's my tool going to be? What am I going to do? And so depending on what needs to accomplish, that's how you will, and the client themselves is how you will choose your technique. Okay, engaging the tissues. This is what I'm talking about your hands need to be listening as well as speaking. You're not just doing things to muscles. You are learning while your hands are on your client. So as you are learning, as you're palpating, learning with your hands, getting deeper into the layers, finding out what's happening. Like, oh, I think that's a deeper layer underneath the trapezius where I'm feeling these tight muscles. And then that's going to affect what you choose to do as well, and how it turns out. So the engaging is a non-invasive part. I mean, this is communicating with the tissues. Direction. By direction, they are actually just talking physically, direction. I'm going to apply friction, but which way am I going to go? This way, which will help loosen up the fibers. But if I do cross fiber, it's going to loosen up even more. If I go towards the heart, it tends to be more relaxing, where when you're pulling away from the heart can be more of a stimulating effect. So the direction is going to influence the reaction. Like if you're trying, you definitely go towards the heart and thus towards the lymph nodes when you're trying to reduce swelling. So which direction you move across the body will affect how well that stroke does its job. The speed is an obvious one. So the more relaxing you're trying to be, the slower you're going to go. But then sometimes you might really hit a rough spot and you're going to need to go fast. And that happens, say, more with friction and stuff than it's going to with effleurage. But that will affect the outcome. The length, they're talking also about physically how long on the body your stroke is going to go. So your initial effleurage strokes are long. They're going all the way up and down the arms or legs or back, trying to break up a particular adhesion, working on the face, hands or feet. You could have some tiny strokes in there. So that will obviously change how everything turns out as well. So rhythm is a little bit more subtle, because they talk about your own internal rhythm. Like you'll find where you work well. And some people really do more quickly than others. Although I do encourage you to take as many deep breaths, meditate however you get grounded, and slow yourself down before you sit down with the client. Because very few people want fast and blah, blah, blah. Most people need that slow, calm, even if there's going to be some moments where you're going to have some quick movements. Slow yourself down to the best of your ability. And yeah, you're going to need to be kind of paying attention to your client's natural rhythm. Now, that definitely sounds subtle as well, but If they're stressed out, you may need to go slower and not as deep because they're not going to be ready to take the pain. And if they're in a receptive state where they really like, hey, let's take care of this, then you may be able to get in deeper. You may be able to work more quickly in some places. So yes, sedating, slow, steady rhythm. Athletic training, the pre-event massages, they'll be faster. Your breathing shows your rhythm as well. You want to breathe as deeply as possible, and do not forget to keep breathing and relaxing. You need, as a massage therapist, all the oxygen coming to your muscles as possible. And then you pay attention to your client's breathing too, because sometimes just a lets you know that you've gone too far, you've gone too fast, you've gone too deep. And whether it can tell you their state of relaxation as well. Duration can mean two different things. So it can mean the amount of time you did one stroke on one muscle, or the amount of time you spent on the muscle doing a variety of strokes. And this will matter how long you go. Like I said, well, I don't know if everyone heard me yesterday, but 2 minutes is about as long as you want to work on one muscle at a time. And I'll go past that sometimes. But then give it a break, put some effleurage, work on something else if you have a real problem, and then go back and spend a couple more minutes on it. You don't want to spend so much time and so much work on something that it bruises a tissue, causes more pain, causes more inflammation. So you don't beat the crap out of a muscle. Sometimes you just have to do what you can and let it go. Go back to it later, see how it's doing. And also what's going to affect your duration is how much you're trying to accomplish and how much time you have. So you want to make sure in almost every massage you do that you can hit all of the areas of the body, even if you're going to spend a little more time specifically on problem areas. Okay. And then the pressure and the depth. Some techniques are just naturally lighter than others. Most of them you can adjust by how much weight you are putting, hopefully weight more often than muscle, into the stroke. And that is going to depend on how your desired outcome. Are they just trying to relax, or are they really trying to fix some of the issues that's going on with their right arm? And you will ask your clients and keep in open communication with them about pressure, and just let them know, hey, please just tell me to ease up if you need a little less, or tell me when you need a little more. And most people are willing to, but a lot of people are shy about it as well. So you want to keep that line of communication open and let them know that, you know, their pain threshold matters and they shouldn't try to push past it too far. They might need to breathe through a trigger point, but if you go too far past their pain threshold, they will tighten up, and you can actually they can end up more tense, going the wrong direction instead of more relaxed and healthy in their tissues. And they also just might not come back. It just might be too much for them and they won't trust massage so much. So yeah, do no harm. Okay. What we're going to get into next is the effects of each massage movement. That's going to be its own separate ball of wax. I believe I just have one quiz for you this time. And then we'll move on and talk about the specific movements and why we do them. I remember how to get out of here.